The pilot whispered, "We're done." He closed his eyes. The cockpit went silent. 312 people. No pilot. Rocky Mountains below. Then a girl in row 12 stood up. She walked to the front. She sat down. And she said, "Give me the controls." Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. From Mike Kowalski, passenger, seat 12B. To, his wife Linda, Chicago. Time, 3 hours after landing. Linda. It's me. I know you saw the news by now. I am okay. Everyone is okay. But I need to tell you something. I need you to hear it from me before you hear it wrong from someone else. There was a girl on the plane. Row 12. Sitting right next to me. A kid. 17 years old maybe. She had a hoodie on. Stanford logo on the front. Headphones in the whole flight. She did not say one word since Chicago. Linda, this kid saved 312 people today. And not one person on that plane knew who she was. Not one person. Including her. I will tell you everything when I get home. I just needed to hear your voice first. Call me back. 3 hours earlier. United Airlines Flight UA 2247. Chicago O'Hare International Airport to Los Angeles. 312 people on board. Everything was completely normal. The sky was clear. The sun was going down over Chicago. The plane was full. People were reading. Sleeping. Watching movies. Eating snacks. Talking to strangers. Doing all the normal things people do on planes. Nobody was worried about anything. Then there was Ava Chen. Seat 12A. The window seat. Her hood was up over her head. Her headphones were in both ears. She was 17 years old. Flying alone to Los Angeles for a college visit. She had not said a single word since the gate at O'Hare. She was looking out the window. Down at the Rocky Mountains far below. Not watching them the way most people watch mountains from a plane. Not saying, "Oh how beautiful," or taking a picture. She was reading them. The height. The shape. The distance. The way her father taught her. She did not even realize she was doing it. It was just, natural. Like breathing. She had not touched the sky in 2 years. The sky was done waiting. From Ava Chen, passenger, row 12A. To, her mom, Dr. Lisa Chen, Chicago. Time, 20 minutes after landing. Mom. I'm okay. I landed. I mean, I'm in Denver. Not LA. It is a long story. Mom, I need to tell you something. And I need you to please not get scared before I finish. Okay? I flew the plane. Mom, let me finish. I thought about what Dad said. His last words to me. You know the ones. Don't let them take the sky from you. Mom, I think today was exactly what he meant. I think he knew there would be a today. I think he always knew. Call me. I love you. I am okay. I promise you that. At O'Hare Airport, Ava was the very last person to get on the plane. The gate worker looked at her ticket. Looked at her. Traveling alone, she asked. Ava said one word, yes. She walked down the long bridge to the plane. She found seat 12A. Mike Kowalski was already in 12B next to her. He had a Chicago Bears cap on his head. Big man. Quiet face. Kind eyes. He nodded at her when she sat down. She nodded back. She put her headphones in. She looked out the window as the plane slowly moved back from the gate. The city of Chicago was outside. The lights. The roads. The lake in the distance. She did not care about any of that. She was watching the sky. Mike looked at her once, cop habit from 20 years on the job. He could not turn it off even now that he was retired. He always looked at people near him. Read their face. Their body. Their eyes. She was not nervous. Not excited. Not bored. She was reading the sky. Like someone who knew what they were looking at. Like someone who had been taught. He went back to his magazine. Filed it away in the back of his mind. Cop habit. Flashback, 2 years earlier. A small airfield outside Chicago. A warm afternoon. Wind light from the west. Ava was 15 years old. She sat in the right seat of a small Cessna 172 airplane. The seat was just a little too big for her. But her hands fit the controls perfectly. Her father sat in the left seat. Colonel James Chen. United States Air Force. He was calm the way a lake is calm on a still morning. He was always calm when he flew. "Okay, little Falcon," he said. "Your airplane." Ava took the controls. The plane responded to her hands right away. Smooth. Natural. Like the plane already knew her. Colonel Chen watched his daughter fly. His hands were in his lap. Not on the controls. He trusted her completely. "You feel that?" he said softly. "That feeling right now, that is the sky accepting you. Not every pilot gets that feeling. Some people fly for years and never feel it. You felt it the first time you touched the controls. You were born for this, Ava." She smiled. She did not say anything. She just flew. 6 months later, a hospital room. Bright lights. White walls. The smell of medicine. Colonel Chen had an oxygen mask on his face. He looked smaller than she had ever seen him. But his eyes were the same. Calm. Clear. Full of love. His hand found hers. He squeezed it. "Don't let them take the sky from you, Ava. Promise me." She promised. Then he was gone. And she never flew again. Because every time she looked at the sky, she saw him. And she was not ready for that. She was not ready for a long time. Back on UA 2247. Somewhere over Colorado. Ava looked down at the Rocky Mountains below. 13,000 feet of rock and ice. Sharp peaks. Deep valleys. She knew how high they were. She knew exactly. Because her father told her. Because her father taught her everything. She did not know yet that this was about to matter. More than anything had ever mattered. Her father gave her the sky. Then he left. She folded it up and put it away. It had waited 2 years. It was done waiting. From Jessica Moore, United Airlines flight attendant. To her sister Amy, Denver. Time, 1 hour after landing. Amy. It's me. I cannot stop shaking. My hands, I cannot stop them. I am fine. Everyone is fine. But I cannot stop shaking. Amy, there was a 17-year-old on that plane. A kid. Just a kid. Sitting in row 12 with her headphones in. I went to her because she was the last person I thought could help. The absolute last person on that plane. And she just stood up. No fear on her face. No questions. No, "Are you sure?" or "I don't know if I can." She just stood up. Like she had been sitting there waiting for someone to ask. I don't know what her father did to raise that girl. Whatever it was, it saved 312 people today. Come over tonight. Bring wine. Bring a lot of wine. A cockpit alarm went off. It was muffled behind the heavy door. But Ava heard it. She pulled one headphone off her ear. Mike looked up from his magazine. "You hear that?" he asked. "Yes," Ava said. "What is it?" Mike asked. Ava was already looking around the cabin. Watching the flight attendants. Reading their faces. "Something is wrong with the flight crew," she said. "How do you know?" Mike asked. "The sound changed," she said simply. "And look at the flight attendant's face." Jessica Moore came out of the front galley. Her face was white. She was moving fast, but trying not to run. Trying to look calm. Not quite making it. She picked up the intercom phone. She took one breath. She made her voice as steady as she could. "Ladies and gentlemen, I need to ask. Is there anyone on board with flying experience? Any pilots at all? Please make yourself known to a crew member right now." Silence. The whole cabin went quiet. People looked at each other. Nobody moved. Then a man in first class raised his hand. "I have a pilot's license," he said. Jessica's heart jumped. She walked to him fast. "What kind? What aircraft?" "Single-engine prop plane," the man said. "About 40 hours total." Jessica's face fell. 40 hours in a small prop plane. That was not going to help here. More silence. She looked down the long aisle. Scanning every single face. Desperate. Hoping. Mike sees what nobody else sees. Mike looked at Ava. She was looking at her hands. Then at the cockpit door. Then at her hands again. He had seen this before. 20 years as a Chicago cop. He had seen people in real emergencies. He knew the difference between the ones who freeze. And the ones who are thinking. She was thinking. He leaned over. Spoke low and quiet. "Kid. Whatever you are thinking right now. Stop thinking. Start doing." Ava looked at him. He nodded once. A slow steady nod. The nod of a man who has seen real courage before. Who can recognize it even when the person doing it cannot. "Your dad teach you to fly?" he asked. "How did you?" Ava started. "Cop. 20 years. I noticed things. The way you looked at those mountains. The way you watched the sky the whole flight. Nobody looks at mountains like that unless someone taught them. Go." Ava stood up. Ava walks to Jessica. Her hood was still up. She walked straight to Jessica. Jessica looked at her. This teenager. Stanford hoodie. 17 years old. Jessica tried not to show the doubt on her face. "Honey, do you have any flying experience?" she asked. 340 hours, Ava said. Mostly Cessna. Some bigger aircraft. My father was U.S. Air Force, Colonel James Chen. He taught me everything. I know how cockpit systems work. I need to see what we are dealing with right now. Jessica stared at her for one full second. Then something changed in her face. Not full relief. Not yet. But the beginning of it. The shape of hope. "Come with me," she said. The cockpit. Captain Rick Morrison was slumped in the left seat. Heart attack. He was alive, but gone. First Officer Jake Simmons was collapsed over the controls. Food poisoning from the crew meal. Both pilots down. Ava stood in the doorway. She did not gasp. She did not freeze. She looked for 4 full seconds. Scanning everything. Then she sat down in the left seat. She checked Captain Morrison's pulse. Still beating. She moved him carefully back in his seat. She handed him to Jessica. "Hold him here. Keep checking his breathing." She took the controls. Her hands moved to every switch without thinking. Automatic. 2 years away from flying. But her hands remembered every single thing. Because her father made her practice until it was like breathing. Until her hands knew the controls the way her feet knew how to walk. She pressed the radio button. Chicago Center, this is United 2247. Declaring Mayday. 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 Full crew incapacitation. I have the aircraft. Passenger, 340 hours flight time, requesting immediate vectors away from terrain. Rocky Mountain terrain visible ahead. Fuel imbalance warning active. 312 souls on board. Over. Sarah Hendricks, Denver Tracon. In Denver, Sarah Hendricks sat at her radar screen. Denver Tracon, Air Traffic Control. 22 years on this job. She had heard a lot of things on this frequency. She had never heard this. United 2247, Denver Center. Copy your mayday. Turn right heading 270, away from terrain, now. Identify yourself please. Ava Chen, came the voice from the radio. 17 years old. My father was Colonel James Chen, U.S. Air Force. He taught me to fly. I need your help. Sarah had 2 daughters. Both the same age as Ava. She felt something move inside her chest. Something she had never felt at this console in 22 years. She put her hand over the microphone. She looked at her colleague. She is 17 years old. Get me Buckley Air Base on the line. Get me everyone. She took her hand off the mic. Ava, I'm Sarah. I am right here. I am not leaving this frequency. Turn right heading 270, tell me when complete. Turning right. Heading 270. Complete. Sarah covered her mic one more time. 1 second. She breathed. Then she uncovered it. Then she went back to work. Because Ava needed her to. Sarah had worked this job for 22 years. She had never covered her mic to cry. She covered it now. Then she uncovered it. Then she went back to work. Because Ava needed her to. The passengers did not know everything. But they knew something was wrong. The captain had not spoken for a long time. The flight attendants were moving fast. The plane had turned hard and sudden. People looked at each other. No one said anything out loud. Because no one wanted to be the first. A woman in seat 18C, Karen Bell, held her phone very tight. She wanted to call her son back home in Chicago. He was 12 years old. Watching TV. Not knowing a thing. She did not call. She did not want him to hear the fear in her voice. So she just held the phone. And waited. 3 rows ahead, an old man named Harold Finch closed his eyes. He had been flying for 40 years. He knew what a sudden hard turn felt like. He knew exactly what it could mean. But he also knew one more thing. Panic helps nobody. So he kept his eyes shut and breathed slowly. In. Out. In. Out. Like a man who had already made his peace with the sky. In seat 7A sat a young man named Daniel Torres. 22 years old. This was his very first flight. He was going to Los Angeles for a dream job interview. That morning he told his mom. Nothing can stop me today, Mom. Now he stared at the seat in front of him. His hands flat on his knees. Very still. Trying hard to believe his own words. Then Jessica's voice came on the intercom. Calm. Steady. Real calm, not fake. The kind of calm that costs something inside a person. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a small situation with the flight deck. Everything is being handled right now. Please stay in your seats with seatbelts fastened. A crew member will come around shortly. Thank you so much for your patience. The whole cabin was silent for 3 full seconds. Then Harold Finch, eyes still closed, said very softly to nobody. Good girl. Nobody heard him. But he meant every word. Ava had the controls. Her hands were steady. Her breathing was slow. Her eyes moved, left, right, up, down. Reading every instrument on the big panel in front of her. Altitude. Speed. Fuel levels. Heading. Engine pressure. Over and over. Never stopping. Her father's voice in her head. Scan the panel, little falcon. Never look at just one thing. A pilot who stares at one number dies because of all the other numbers. Always scan. Always. She was scanning. Sarah came on the radio. Ava, give me your altitude and airspeed right now. Altitude 28,000 feet. Airspeed 310 knots. Autopilot is still running. I have not touched it yet. Should I take manual control now? Sarah covered her mic for 1 second. She said to her colleague, she asked the right question. That is exactly the right question. She knows what she is doing. Back on the radio. Ava, keep autopilot on for now. We are going to bring you down slowly and safely. I will tell you every single step before you do it. You do nothing until I say. Okay. Okay, Sarah. 2 words. Calm. Ready. Sarah had talked to scared pilots over 22 years. Tired pilots. Lost pilots. Pilots in storms where the whole radar screen turned white. She had talked pilots through engine failures. And fuel emergencies and near misses. She had never talked to a 17-year-old girl. Flying a Boeing 737 full of people over mountains at night. And she had never, not once, felt this kind of calm from the other side of the radio. It was not fake calm. It was not shock. It was real training. It was hundreds of hours of practice. It was a father who loved his daughter enough to prepare her for a moment he never imagined would come. The girl was ready. She just did not know it yet. Sarah did. So Sarah held on. And she guided Ava down. 1 step at a time. Jessica walked through the whole cabin. Slow. Steady. Smiling at every face she passed. She stopped at Karen Bell. Are you okay? She asked softly. Karen could not speak. She just nodded. Jessica reached down and squeezed her hand. We have a very good pilot up there right now. I promise you that. She moved on to Daniel Torres in 7A. Is this your first time flying? She asked quietly. He nodded, a little embarrassed. Great news, Jessica said with a small smile. This is now officially the most exciting first flight in history. You will be telling this story your whole life. He almost smiled. Almost. She kept walking. Row after row. Face after face. She did not tell them a 17-year-old was flying the plane. Not yet. Some things, you hold until the right moment. When she finally reached the front galley again. She stopped. Leaned against the cold metal wall. Took one long breath. Through the closed cockpit door she could hear Ava's voice. Talking to Sarah. Talking to Denver. Calm. Clear. Focused. Completely unbroken. Jessica closed her eyes for just 1 second. Colonel Chen, she whispered. Whoever you were. Whatever you did. Thank you. Then she opened her eyes. Straightened up. Put the smile back on her face. And went back to work. From, Captain Marcus Webb, USAF, Buckley Space Force Base. 2. Dr. Lisa Chen, Ava's mother. Time, 6 hours after landing. Dr. Chen. This is Captain Marcus Webb. I served under Colonel Chen. I was at his funeral 2 years ago. I don't know if Ava told you what happened today. I don't know if she told you about the radio. About what she said. About the call sign. I need you to know something. When I heard those words on the radio. When I heard Little Falcon. I had to grab my flight controls with both hands. Because my hands stopped working. The colonel talked about her all the time. Every day almost. My little falcon, he called her. He said she would be a better pilot than him one day. He believed that completely. He was right, Dr. Chen. He was absolutely right. Please tell her, from all of us at Buckley. The colonel would be so proud today. So incredibly proud. F-16 scramble. 2 F-16 fighter jets launched from Buckley Space Force Base in Colorado. Engine screaming. Off the ground in 11 minutes. Captain Marcus Webb, call sign Viper 1, came on the radio. United 2247, Viper flight. We have visual on you. State your situation. Ava gave a full report. Precise. Clear. Calm. Every detail in order. Military style, exactly the way her father spoke. His influence in every single word. Copy, Marcus said. What is your flight background? What aircraft types have you flown? Cessna 172. Piper Cherokee. Sometime in my father's simulator. Never a commercial aircraft before today. Marcus, carefully, your father, what branch? U.S. Air Force, Ava said. Colonel James Chen. He passed away 2 years ago. 7 seconds of silence on the radio. Marcus Webb, in his cockpit. Marcus stared at the United Airlines plane through his canopy window. Big silver plane. Full of people. Being flown by, who? His co-pilot, Viper 1. Marcus, very quiet. Colonel Chen's daughter. She is on that plane. She is flying that plane. The colonel's daughter, his co-pilot said. I was his second-in-command for 3 years. I know his daughter. I know her call sign. He pressed the radio button. His voice was tight. Controlled. But only just. United 2247, Ava. Did your father ever call you Little Falcon? 5 seconds of silence. Then. Yes. He called me that since I was 8 years old. Marcus grabbed his flight stick. Hard. Ava, I served under Colonel James Chen for 3 years. He talked about you every single day. My little falcon, he said you would be a better pilot than him one day. I believe him. I am on your left wing right now. Tell me what you need. Ava, in the cockpit. She did not cry. She wanted to. She felt everything, all at the same time. Her father's face. His voice. His hands over hers on the small Cessna controls. Your airplane, Little Falcon. She felt all of it come up at once. Then she put it somewhere safe inside herself. Somewhere she could get to later. Not now. Right now, 312 people. Right now, the sky her father gave her. Viper 1. I need Denver weather, runway length. And fuel burn rate at this altitude. In that order please. And something in Marcus's voice changed. The grief was still there. But something else was there too now. Pride. Copy Little Falcon. Denver weather first. From, Mike Kowalski, Seat 12B. T.O., his daughter Katie, Chicago. Time, 4 hours after landing. Katie Bear. It's Dad. Don't tell your mom I called you first. I already called her. Honey, I need to tell you about a girl I sat next to today. She was your age. 17 years old. And she was so quiet the whole flight. Headphones in. Looking out the window. I thought, just another kid going somewhere. Katie. This kid landed a Boeing 737. A Boeing 737. Over the Rocky Mountains. By herself. I cleared the aisle for her. That is all I could do. I just moved out of her way. Sometimes that is enough, Katie. Sometimes the best thing you can do is get out of the way of someone who knows exactly what they are doing. I love you. Tell your mom I will be home tomorrow. The fuel imbalance warning was getting louder. The left fuel tank was draining faster than the right. Possible fuel line problem. Marcus came on. Ava, the fuel imbalance is getting critical. You may need to switch the crossfeed valve by hand. Ava checked the panel carefully. Crossfeed valve, I see it. My father walked me through this in the simulator. I know what to do. She found the valve. Opened it. Smooth. The fuel began to balance between the two tanks. Sarah on the radio right away. United 2247, that was perfect, Ava. Absolutely perfect. Ava, and this was the first time any warmth came into her voice. Thanks, Sarah. Dad was a really good teacher. Colonel Chen taught his daughter fuel valve procedures in a simulator when she was 15. He could not have known why. Maybe he did. From Sarah Hendricks, Air Traffic Control, Denver Tracon. To her husband Tom, Denver. Time, 2 hours after incident. Tom. It's me. I know you saw the news. I am okay. Still at work, long debrief, I will be late. Tom. She was 17 years old. She told me her dad was Air Force. Passed away 2 years ago. He taught her everything. I kept thinking about Emma and Grace. Our girls. Same age as her. I had to be the calm thing she could hold on to. I had to be the steady voice. I don't know if I was. I hope I was. Tell the girls I love them. Actually, I will tell them myself. I will be home late. But I will be home. Save me dinner. Denver International Airport. Runway 16R, the longest one available. 12,000 feet of concrete. More than enough. Sarah, United 2247, Denver weather is perfect tonight. Winds calm. Visibility unlimited. Beautiful clear night in Colorado, Ava. You could not ask for better conditions. Copy that, Sarah. Beginning descent. Requesting ILS approach to runway 16R. Cleared for ILS 16R. I have you on radar every step. Talk to me. Marcus, still on Ava's left wing. Little Falcon. I am going to talk you through this approach. Step by step. Just like your dad would have done. Are you ready? And for the first time in 2 years. Her father's absence felt like presence. His voice was everywhere. In Marcus. In Sarah. In her own hands. Ready, Viper 1. Jessica got on the intercom one last time. Her voice was steady as rock. Ladies and gentlemen. We are on final approach to Denver International Airport. Our pilot has the situation completely under control. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. Your tray table is up. And your seat is in the upright position. We will be on the ground very shortly. Thank you. Karen Bell in seat 18C stopped crying. She sat up straight. She took a slow breath. Okay, she whispered to herself. Okay. Daniel Torres in seat 7A looked out his window. He could see the city lights of Denver below, spreading out in every direction. Beautiful. Okay, he said too. To nobody. Okay. Harold Finch kept his eyes closed. But he was smiling now. Barely. But smiling. A small boy 3 rows back pressed his face to the window, watching the F-16 jet off the wing. Dad, is that a real fighter jet? His father, voice not quite steady, yes buddy. Cool, said the boy. The simplest word said all night. And somehow the most true. It came without any warning. Wind shear. A sudden wall of air from the Rocky Mountains. Colorado mountain wave. Completely unpredictable. The plane dropped 90 feet in 2 seconds. The cabin screamed. Every single person on board. Karen Bell grabbed the armrest. Daniel Torres gripped his seat. Harold Finch's eyes snapped open. Mike Kowalski grabbed the seat in front of him. Jessica slammed against the galley wall and held on. Marcus, sharp and hard on the radio. Ava, wind shear. She was already in it. Already fighting. Full power. Nose up. Pull it back. Fight it. Sarah, watching her radar screen. The altitude numbers going crazy. Come on Ava, come on. Slow motion. 400 feet. 300 feet. The plane clawing its way back up. The nose coming up slowly. The lights of Denver spreading below. 250 feet, she leveled out. Back on the right path. Back on the glide slope. Marcus, voice cracking just slightly. That's IT, you've got IT, keep going. Sarah covered her mic for exactly 1 second. Breathed. Uncovered it. United 2247, you are on perfect approach. 4 miles to touchdown. You are almost home Ava. Denver International coming up fast now. The lights. The long runways. The blue taxiway lights in perfect lines. Beautiful. Marcus, his voice quiet now. Little Falcon. I have to break off here. I cannot follow you below this point. You take it from here. You have always been able to take it from here. Your dad knew that. Now you know it too. Fly it home. Ava watched his F-16 climb away into the night sky. For just 1 second she watched it go. And she saw her father. In every pilot who had ever believed in her. Copy Viper 1. I've got it from here. 100 feet. 50 feet. 30 feet. Complete silence. 10 feet. Throttle back. Flare. The wheels of the 737 touched runway 16R. Denver International Airport. Smooth. Perfectly smooth. Like her father's hand on her shoulder. Like coming home. Reverse thrust. Brakes. The big plane slowed. Turned at the far end of the runway. Stopped. 4 seconds of complete silence. Then Mike Kowalski, row 12B, Chicago Bears cap. Started clapping. One man. Big hands. Very loud. Then 312 people. The whole plane. All at once. Like a wave. Inside the cabin the clapping grew louder and louder. Karen Bell in seat 18C was crying. Happy tears running down her face. Both hands over her mouth. She looked at the woman sitting next to her. A total stranger, they had not said one word to each other the whole flight. Now they held hands like old friends. Daniel Torres in seat 7A sat all the way back in his seat. He looked up at the ceiling. And laughed. Just laughed. Because what else can you do? What else is there? Harold Finch opened his eyes. Looked out the window at the bright lights of Denver. Nodded once, slow and quiet and certain. Like a man who always knew things would be okay. Like a man who never really doubted it. Mike Kowalski kept clapping. His big hands loud and steady. He was not clapping just for the landing. He was clapping for a 17-year-old girl. Who stood up when no one else did. Who walked forward when everyone else stayed in their seats. That is the only kind of clapping that really matters. Ava's hands were still on the controls. She looked out at the Denver night sky. Orange glow of the city everywhere. Stars bright above the dark mountains. She looked at the controls in her hands. Her father's world. Now hers again. She pressed the radio button one last time. Voice completely level. Completely calm. Denver Center. United 2247. On the ground. Denver International. 312 souls. All safe. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah's voice. Just once. Broke. And came back together. In the same breath. Copy United 2247. All safe. Your dad would be so proud of you, Ava. Welcome to Denver. From, Jessica Moore, flight attendant. To, Ava Chen. Time, next morning. Ava. It's Jessica. The flight attendant. You were probably a little busy to notice me. I got your number from the airline. I hope that is okay. I have been flying for 9 years. I have done every safety drill 1,000 times. I never thought I would actually need them. Last night I needed them. And I needed you. You were 17 years old. And you were the calmest person on that whole aircraft. Your dad sounds like he was an incredible man. A truly incredible man. Thank you, Ava. From all 312 of us. Every single one. Thank you. Emergency vehicles were everywhere. Red and blue lights flashing in the dark. News cameras already setting up near the fence. Ava was the very last person off the plane. She came down the stairs slowly. Hoodie still up over her head. Stanford logo. Same girl who got on the plane in Chicago. Same girl. Different sky. Marcus Webb was standing at the bottom of the stairs. Out of his flight gear. Civilian clothes. He had driven from Buckley Space Force Base. The moment his F-16 touched down. He looked at her. This 17-year-old girl. Colonel Chen's little falcon. Standing on the tarmac in Denver. He did not try to find clever words. He did not make a speech. He just said. He would have loved today. He would have absolutely loved today. Ava. And this was the first time. She let go of everything she had been holding. All night long. All 2 years. She did not fall apart. She did not collapse. She just breathed. One long slow breath. Like she had been holding it for 2 years. And now she could finally let it out. I know, she said. I know he would. Mike found her near the gate doors. Still wearing his Chicago Bears cap. He held out his big hand. Mike Kowalski. Chicago PD, retired. Sat next to you the whole flight. Never introduced myself. My mistake. Ava shook his hand. Ava Chen. I know who you are, Mike said. The whole world is about to know who you are. Ava looked at the cameras setting up in the distance. I just want to go home, she said. Mike smiled. Big and real. Yeah. Me too, kid. Me too. He took the Chicago Bears cap off his head. Put it on hers. She looked at him. He shrugged. You are from Chicago. It is required. She almost laughed. First time all night. From Captain Rick Morrison, United Airlines UA 2247. To Ava Chen. Time, next morning, from his hospital RO. This is Captain Rick Morrison. UA 2247. They told me this morning what happened. They told me everything. I want you to know something. The last thing I remember, before I went down, was thinking, we're done. I genuinely believed we were done. That was my last thought. We're done. And then, someone saved my plane. Someone saved my 312 passengers. A 17-year-old girl. In row 12. Who nobody knew. I don't have the words. I have been trying to find them all morning. I don't have them. Your father raised someone extraordinary, Ava. Truly extraordinary. I hope someday you will let me buy you a cup of coffee. And say this to your face. Until then. Thank you. From the bottom of this old pilot's heart. Thank you. The NTSB filed their report 48 hours later. Under the section called Personnel Operating the Aircraft. They wrote one line. Ava Chen, 17. Passenger, row 12A. 340 hours flight time. Trained by Colonel James Chen, USAF. The FAA opened a file the same week. Not an investigation. An application. Student pilot certificate. Expedited review. Ava went back to Chicago. Went back to school on Monday. Sat in her regular seat. Third row from the front. Window side. Her physics teacher had seen the news. Everyone had seen the news. When Ava walked through the door, the teacher looked at her. Said nothing. Just nodded. The way you nod at someone who has done something so big that you do not have words for it yet. Ava nodded back. Sat down. Opened her notebook. At the top of the first page, where she always wrote the date, she wrote 2 words instead. The words her father said to her. The first time she ever touched the controls. The words that were always true. Even when she forgot them. Even when she put them away. Even when she thought the sky was gone. The pilot whispered, "We're done." A silent girl in row 12 heard something different. She heard her father's voice. She heard 340 hours of practice. She heard the sky that had been waiting 2 years for her to come back. She picked up the controls. She always was going to pick up the controls. Some things are just waiting for the right moment to become true.